Hello, and welcome to the McTaggart Attack podcast. I am Kevin McTaggart. This is episode 66. For those new to the podcast, I'm a comedian from Vermont, and this podcast is just me giving opinions on things, or just talking about myself, or sometimes stuff pisses me off. That's it. And I also get angry about stuff on other people's behalf, but that will be later in the episode. So, what on earth was I gonna talk about first? Shit. Okay, here's what I was gonna talk about. I recorded my episode 65 last week, and did it in my car, and then I finished, and then I went and drove somewhere. I had to stop to use the restroom, so I parked at Hannaford's, and Hannaford's in West Lebanon, and I'm parked in a parking space, and I can see the back of the car in front of me. The car was parked behind, and they had obviously backed in because they're an asshole. And but there were a bunch of bumper stickers on this truck, and one of them caught my eye, and it said Liberalism, and then underneath it said, is a mental illness. And it just sort of struck me. It sort of reminded me of something I tried to talk about in an earlier episode of my podcast. And it just sort of struck me the wrong way. And it just pissed me off. Like this liberalism is a mental illness, saying that. So this guy is obviously a conservative, and it's just, that just shows me that's essentially what's wrong with our country, with our politics, is that, like, we're aware that people have different opinions or different beliefs, and we think these people are fucking crazy. And that's, as long as we're divided like that, nothing will ever get accomplished. Nothing at all. Nothing will ever get accomplished. It's ridiculous. It just made me mad that, like, that's a thing. That bumper sticker, just, we're never gonna do anything if we refuse, if we continue to villainize the other side. If we're going to refuse to, like, even listen to each other, if we're just going to resort to calling each other names, or saying that we have a mental illness, which there's nothing wrong with having a mental illness, by the way. Let's also talk about that, because that's something that needs to stop being ostracized. But it's just ridiculous that we continue to villainize it, and, like, even to the point where, like, you put out bumper stickers because you know people will buy that shit because it's funny. And really, if you think about it, it's not funny. It's just sad. I just hate the labeling, because the labeling goes negative. most of the time, you know? Oh, you're a homo. Oh, you're a liberal. Oh, you're a conservative. I'm tired of the goddamn labels. It's so fucking ridiculous. We should be ashamed of ourselves. And that old guy in that truck, I did see that he was an old guy, because I figured this has to be an older person. Maybe, did I just do labeling? I don't know. But yeah, it just made sense to me that it was just an old guy in a truck who, I don't know, just thinks that, it's just ridiculous. That just made me mad. And we're never going to get anything accomplished if we continue to act like if we continue to act like that. If we continue to put out bumper stickers like that. I feel like we'll never listen to each other. Ever. As long as we think that the other side is crazy. Reminded me, I put out a tweet about Trump's ideas for the war on drugs. Like I said, so his ideas are commercials and kill all the drug dealers. Yeah, that should work. And of course you get some replies, and I got this one guy replying, and he's like, well, what's your idea, libtard? Libtard. I'm like, ugh. See, that's the goddamn problem. First of all, I'm not really sure. I mean, I'm definitely not retarded, so take offense to that. And also, I don't even think I'm a liberal. Maybe I was younger, but I'm in the middle, or I'm on the Democratic side, but I'm not. I'm in the middle, leaning Democratic, but I'm definitely not a liberal. I don't know, I think a liberal has a lot more just thoughts on things. I certainly think abortion should be legal. I think death penalty should be, it depends on the situation, but it should not be outlawed, because some people can't be fixed. And there's a bunch of other issues, but I don't think, I think that liberals think everything should be free. And I don't necessarily agree with that, because if we have everything given to us, the government's going to own us anyway. If the government gives us everything, then we're essentially slaves to the government. And I do think healthcare should be free. Healthcare should definitely be free. But no, I don't identify myself as a liberal. I'm in the middle. So it just kind of makes me mad when someone calls me a liberal. I'm like, what the fuck? How dare they call me a liberal? Because I don't think I am one. And again, it's just the name calling. The name call. As long as the name calling continues to persist, we're never going to take the time to listen to each other. Which is ridiculous. And sad. It's fucking sad. Yeah. Happy Easter, I guess. I don't know. I'm not really celebrating Easter. I don't really celebrate Easter. I'm not a big fan of religion. It doesn't matter that much to me. So yeah. I was Catholic, so I'm obviously not anymore. But I thought I would just put that in there for anyone who is celebrating Easter, because I'm not going to villainize anyone who celebrates Easter, because I'm not going to be that type of person. And I hope no one villainizes me for not liking Easter. But anyway, that bumper sticker and that comment from that guy on Twitter just annoyed me this week. And I needed to share it with my podcast listeners because you know how much things piss me off. It's just annoying that, like, adults resorting to name calling, saying something that resorting to name calling, saying that the other side has a mental illness. That's so you're right and never wrong. You can't just. We have to be willing to listen to each other. I would like for us to all, like, have an open mind towards things. If everybody had an open mind towards things, the world would be a better place. Should be ashamed of ourselves for how we're acting, for how we act. Period. There's something else I wanted to talk about that kind of irked me, or does irk me a little bit. I was in Burlington. This was a month or so ago, and I heard snippets of the conversation, and I didn't want to interject in the conversation because I didn't want to have to be involved with the conversation. But it just seemed like they were talking about, we can't talk about this anymore. They were talking about topics that, they couldn't talk about on stage anymore. And that is so wrong. We can't go there with that type of attitude. We can't. As a comedian, how am I trying to say this? I went to see Doug Stanhope last July, I think it was. And it was great. One thing I took away from it, I felt like he was talking directly to me or comedians, and it's like he was saying how everything is funny. Not everything is funny, but you have to joke about everything. You have to joke about everything. And it's like you can't restrict yourself and not talk about some topics. You can't be afraid to not talk about some things, And it's just irritating, We shouldn't. I worry when we talk about restricting language and stuff like that, because for comedians, that's how we do what we do. We get up and we talk about stuff, and it makes people feel. Most of the time, it makes them laugh, but most of the time, sometimes it makes them uncomfortable, and we shouldn't be afraid to make people uncomfortable. We should just get up there, say what we want to say. People like it, good. I mean, you want people to like it. You want people to laugh, for the most part. But I'm just saying, when we start to, restrict language, that kind of, that crosses a line, or subject matter. I'm like, as long as you make it funny, it should be okay. You can make a joke about pedophiles as long as it's funny and not creepy. You can make a joke about race or gender or whatever the fuck you want to talk about, just as long as you make the joke funny. If it's not funny, you're screwed. So yeah, that's what I've got to say about that. That kind of, I don't know why, I heard that conversation a couple months ago, and I don't think I talked about it on my podcast, so, and I'm sort of cleaning the closet on thoughts that I've had that I want to expound upon on my podcast this week. Another thing I wanted to talk about was, I feel like I've come up with a better plan about my life. Like, like, at the rate I'm paying my student loan now, the monthly payment, I should be done with it in about 2 years from now. So that's exciting. I want it to be faster than that, but I shouldn't rush it. But hopefully it will be sometime within the next 2 years. I'll have my student loans paid off. And I have to think about what to do after that, because I definitely want to, that would be 2 years from now will be when I like make a move to another bigger comedy scene, I think. So yeah, I'm trying to figure out where I should go once I pay off my student loans, because I definitely don't want to keep this job that I currently have. And I try to think about what I could do for work, and I came up with an idea last week, and like, I was just thinking about things that I like to do that might possibly work for a business. Like, there are there's freelance jobs, like, or there's like websites called Upwork or Fiverr that you sign up, that you can, offer yourself your services for things. And I was trying to think, what could I do to help, to offer my services. And I've been using Excel spreadsheets since the mid-90s. And I make them at home. I make them at work for myself. I love it. I love using Excel spreadsheets. And it dawned on me that most people don't like using Excel spreadsheets. Most people are absolutely clueless when it comes to making one or using one, stuff like that. And I want to do something where I'm sort of like an Excel consultant, or spreadsheet consultant or something like that, where like I can either make the spreadsheet for you, or I can show you how to use it. Not necessarily an instructor, but I want to make spreadsheets for people and get paid for it. I think there's a market for that. And so if you want me to build your spreadsheet for you, or spreadsheets for you, come at me, bro. Come ask me. Let me know. I'll do it. Just give me the data. Tell me how you want it to look. Tell me what you want to happen, and I'll do it. We can talk about the fee later. Or look me up on Fiverr with 2 R's. I think I'm on that. I don't know. I've shared a link about it, but I haven't gotten any response yet. So, but yeah, it made me feel really good to come up with that. And like, there's other stuff I can do too. Like I don't know if I'm good at making PowerPoints, but I've made PowerPoints before. I like the systems, and I like making them for people, and I want to do that. I want to do what I like. I don't want to do what I do now anymore, because it frustrates the hell out of me. And we're not going to talk bad much about that, because I don't like to talk about, I never mention my company's name in my podcast, and for that reason. I'm just waiting for those 2 years to be over. Once my student loans are paid off, I'm quitting. Probably. And if the freelance thing works out really well, then I will just do that. And comedy. So 2 years. I have 2 years to work on my comedy and the Excel spreadsheet thing. So we'll see what goes on with that. So that'll be fun. Let's see. Before I get to what pisses you off for this week, I want to talk about the what pisses you off I did last week, because I have an update to that. And that's very exciting. My friend and charter member of the Kevin McTaggart fan club, Danielle Bergeron, sent me a picture last week of the unisex toilet at her work, where it had 4 or 5 signs on how to use the flusher, because the flusher was broken and you had to use it you had to handle it in a certain way. And I went on a rant and I basically said, in the amount of time that they made all of these signs explaining how to fix the flusher, they could have called a plumber. So I went on a rant about that, and it was successful, because Danielle then had her maintenance, the maintenance guy. She had him listen to my podcast, to that episode, last week's episode, and then he agreed to fix the flusher. So a few days later, the flusher was fixed. It's amazing. I was very excited to hear that I was able, that something I said in my podcast caused some sort of change. Yes, it was a broken flusher, but this has great ramifications. So congratulations on that bathroom being fixed, that flusher being fixed. That's great. So yeah, I'm very happy about that. So if you have something that if you have a cause that you want me to fight for you on, you let me know. That's to anyone. Be it a broken toilet at work or something, and I will get angry about it, and you can have someone listen to it, and then that will change. We're changing the world with the McTaggart Attack podcast. Yeah. So yeah, right. Changing the world. It's fantastic. Very excited. From one flusher to who knows what's next. Who knows what's next. So for this week's what's pissing you off? What is it? Oh, it's well, it's not from Danielle again, but it's from one of her coworkers. And let's see. Hold on. It's from one of her coworkers. Okay. Oh, okay. So apparently, this week's winner of what's pissing you off is Sue Warner. Sue is mad because her work gave her a gift card. But the gift card came with a note, and that note says, "Please be advised that gift cards are considered cash equivalents by the IRS and therefore are to be included in the employee's compensation for tax purposes. You will see the taxes for this item reflected in your next paycheck. Thank you for your great work." So basically, work gave her a gift card as a gift, and they're charging her for it. What the fuck is that all about? How is that a gift? Here's a gift, but we're taking money from you. Right. So, I talked to Danielle about this, actually, and it's yeah, I forget how much the gift card was for. Let's say it was $25. The taxes will be 50%. How fucking stupid is that? Here's a gift card that we're giving you, and we're taking money from you as well. What? How does that make sense? How is that a gift? I hate when work does that. What the hell is wrong with you people? You should be ashamed of yourself for putting out that gift. Fucking ashamed. How is that even a fucking gift? It doesn't make sense to me. Makes no fucking sense at all. It's not a goddamn gift. Here's a gift list card. Call it a gift list card instead. Hey, we're going to give you a gift. No, I don't want a gift card. No, we don't. I mean, what's the point of getting a gift card if you're not going to, just give them the gift? If gifts are illegal at work, why the fuck are you giving a gift in the fucking first place? Wherever Sue Warner works. I feel like I might not have done that right, but it just infuriated me. I hope if I did that wrong, if I need to redo it, please let me know, Sue. Please let your bosses know that they're fucking morons for giving you a gift card and and telling you to pay for it. A gift that they're trying to fucking give you. That's ridiculous. Sounds like something my company would do. No, my company would tell us that we have to come into work on a Saturday and then thank us for coming in. How the fuck are you going to thank us for coming in when you told us we have to be here? What's our choice? Quit? Getting heated now. I was a little tired at the beginning, but I'm fucking heated now. But yeah. So that was what's pissing you off for this week, and this has been the McTaggart Attack podcast for this week. Next week is going to be a big deal. Next week's episode will be me talking about what I hate about the WWE. So, but this week, what should I call this week's episode? I really don't know. Maybe liberalism is not a mental illness. Maybe that's what I'll call it. Because of that stupid fucking idiot with the bumper sticker that pissed me off last week. I don't even know if there's a guy that puts the bumper sticker on his car, or it's just whoever fucking created the bumper sticker. It's like, it's as if the companies, the higher powers, the government wants us to be at odds with each other. And that is the totally fucking wrong way to go about things. We're all here. Ridiculous. Alright, well. Like the Facebook page for the McTaggart Attack podcast. Find my YouTube channel and find the McTaggart Attack podcast YouTube channel. Look me up on Twitter at KevMcT. Look me up on Facebook. And if you have any thoughts or complaints or anything like that about the McTaggart Attack podcast, there is an email address. If you have questions you want me to answer, whatever, the email address is McTaggartAttack@gmail.com. Goodbye, everybody. Seriously, you can stop listening now. I'm gonna press the stop button soon, so you can just stop listening and maybe download other episodes of the podcast, all available on Podbean. Seriously, I'm turning it the fuck off now. Damn it, I was gonna do it at 29:00 when I fucking pressed the wrong goddamn... I didn't even press the fucking button. Oh well. Bye. For real this time. But not forever. Be back next week. Because this is a weekly podcast, not a monthly podcast, like Reggie Britton called it last night at the Marquee. Oh, upcoming shows. I forgot to mention upcoming shows. I have a show on April 5th at the Engine Room in White River Junction. With a few other comedians. That's at, I think it's 8 o'clock. I don't know. And then I have April 14th at the Marquee, a Vermont Comedy Outlaw show, where we're going to do our... I'll do my usual set, and then we're going to roast YouTube videos. And then there's the movie roast the week after that, and other stuff and things and such. And I think I've covered everything now. So now I'm definitely going to stop.